What's up, guys? The Maestro Megatron here. Welcome back to my channel. And we're going to talk about some Halloween reviews, maybe some Halloween news. You never know. Oh, wait a minute. My phone's vibrating. Hello? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, we got into a little disagreement about a couple Halloween movies that we're gonna watch. I mean, what do you expect? I'm from clear up north. I'm from clear in Toronto. My judgment is really bad. We can watch Halloween 1, we can watch Halloween 2, and if I feel like we can watch Halloween 4 and 5, which I keep really speaking bad shit about Halloween 5, which I should just probably go ahead and keep my opinions to myself, because if I really don't like the movie, why make jokes about it? Why even keep bringing it up? Just Halloween 5. I mean, it can't be any worse than the Rob Zombie Halloweens, but I keep dogging on Halloween 5. I don't know why. I guess because I'm from way up north. I don't know. The Toronto area, I guess we have something against Halloween 5. I don't know. I'm a YouTuber that really has something against Halloween 5. But I keep talking about it. Which, why do you own it? Why do I own it? Why do I keep bringing it up? I just don't even need to bring it up. I don't even need to talk about it. So, whatever. I don't like Halloween 5, so I just shut the fuck up about it. Right. Quit making jokes and videos about it? Okay. Well, I didn't lose a friend over Halloween movies. All right, we'll talk to you later. Goodbye. Anyways, let's get down to the topic at hand. I got through that point. We are going to talk about the 1978 Halloween, John Carpenter's beautiful, beautiful creation that he did, and it started the whole franchise, and that's what we're going to do right now. Now, it come out in 1978. It was directed by John Carpenter and written by Deborah Hill. Perfect. Perfect, low budget horror movie opened the doorway to this franchise that is still going on today. They made it actually, they had a budget of $200,000, okay? And when they were selecting the part for Dr. Loomis, Dr. Sam Loomis, they went to Peter Cushing, they went to Christopher Lee. Both of them turned it down, which Christopher Lee still talks about it to this very day before he passed away, that he regretted turning that part down. So, they went to Mustafa Khan and they asked for suggestions for him. He's the one that started funding this anyways for the $200,000. And he actually suggested Donald Pleasance, which he's seen in a couple movies before that. And that's where the $225,000 came in. The extra $25,000 for 4 days of shooting. They gave Donald Pleasance $25,000 for his part, which he made himself an iconic figure in the Halloween series to this very day. His name is still brought up. His name will forever be in the franchise. And that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it's going to be. So, $225,000, they made the original, iconic 1978 Halloween original by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. Bada bing, bada boom. And that's why we're still here with all these super fans, with all these sequels that's coming out now, which I have touched on them this week. Halloween Kills is coming out next year. It's going to be freaking phenomenal. But for the next few minutes, we're going to talk about 1978's John Carpenter's Halloween. I just brought up a very vital point. John Carpenter made it for $225,000. Now, Nick Castle, who is now involved in Halloween Kills and was in Halloween 2018, was not the original pick for the shape. They had other actors, other stand-ins in the background for the original Halloween. Nick Castle had nothing to do with the movie. but he was a friend of John Carpenter's to begin with. So he was like, "Hey, John, can I kind of watch in and see what you guys are doing with this movie?" And he said, "Sure." So about a half a day goes by, and he's like, "You know what? Here's the mask. Put it on. I need you to play the guy." And Nick Castle's like, "The guy? What the hell guy you talking about?" He's like, "I need you to play the guy, Michael Myers," which that name comes from an inspiration for when John Carpenter was in school, film school, in fact, and his name was Michael Myers. So there you go. Um, that's how Nick Castle was born into the part of Michael Myers. They had a few different masks in mind for the Halloween 1978. They had the clown mask, which makes sense because in the beginning, when young Michael Audrey Myers murdered his sister, he was wearing the clown mask, the clown costume, and they thought, let's give him the grown-up edition of the Emmett Halloween mask, the sad clown mask. Everybody has seen that in the past. It's famous in the 1920s and 1930s. And they had another monster mask that they had in mind, but then Deborah Hill went to the local Halloween mask shop, and got a Captain Kirk's mask, a William Shatner mask, and they cut the eye holes bigger, and they spray painted it white, kind of matted the hair a little bit. Nick Castle actually, it wasn't Nick Castle, it was Tommy Lee Wallace, the set director. He put it on, and he came out with the mask on in the dark with a little bit of light illuminating in the background, and we're like, holy shit, this is the mask. So that's how the Michael Myers original mask was born. I think that's a badass little tidbit. So, anyways, they went on to make the movie. It took 27 days to make the movie. Everything was done by all the set actors and extras. Everything was done all by them. There was no hired hands. There was no hired help. They had one big fan that blew the art. They filmed it in the spring in L.A., so they had a big fan that was blowing the leaves the whole time in the movie. If you look at the movie, with the leaves blowing around, that's the same leaves recycling over and over and over again each time in the set. So, and it wasn't even fall leaves. It was spring leaves that they picked off trees, and they painted them into fall colors. And which, if you see the original movie, all the leaves that are blowing down the street, when Laurie's walking down the street, or when Laurie and Linda and Annie are walking down the street, all those leaves are recycled in each scene. And they would all go, after the scene was shot, they would all go pick them up, put them back in a bag, and take them to the next scene where it's going to be shot. So they did a really good job. There was a lot of work done on that movie. It was a very cheap done movie. They didn't have any help from big wigs, from any big movie studio. They did it all themselves, and it turned out to be the biggest iconic horror movie, biggest grossing movie in horror movie history to ever be formatted and to ever come out and produced. And to this very day right now, it's spawned so many sequels. It has spawned so many the fan base to Halloween is just, it's a freak of nature. But that's just a little bit of fun facts on that one. 1978 John Carpenter Halloween, like I said, it started the whole franchise off. The best thing that I love about the original John Carpenter's Halloween 1978 is there's barely any blood in it, barely any violence. It's freaking phenomenal. That's the way a good horror movie should be. it should be in your mind. It should be a good frame of mind. Use your imagination. What should it look like? What should it have looked like? And that's the way John Carpenter wanted it. Now, I know there's quite a bit of more violence these days in the new Halloweens, but that's just the way it goes. That's the way it happens. Um, but anyways, 1978 Halloween, John Carpenter. It ran for an hour and 31 minutes, and like I said, just $225,000 budget, but it more than doubled. They thought it bombed the first time, and actually did bomb because they showed it to a class of filmmakers, up and coming filmmakers, and they hated it. So it was not successful at first. But John Carpenter went back and was like, okay, what can I do? Well, John Carpenter's father was a music instructor, was a music teacher, and he had taught John Carpenter all this kind of musical talent. So John went back and added all the music, the iconic music, the da 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 da, the 4 3 3 and 4, and that's what he did. And he added all the music in. He synchronized it into the movie, and when it was shown at the theaters with the music, it had a better fan base, better stronghold, and better grip on the audience, but it still bombed the first night. They were scared about it. But what made the movie successful was word of mouth. And that's coming out of Deborah Hill's mouth when she was still alive back in the day. She said, what happened is we bombed the first night in the theater, but the second, third, fourth, and fifth night, word of mouth, they were like, you have to check this movie out. And due to word of mouth and for the love of people in horror movies, more and more people came for weeks at a time and made it the highest grossing horror movie in 1978. And probably to this very day, with the exception of Halloween 2018, which that made $250 million. And I've brought that up in other videos. And the rest is history. Halloween, the original, by John Carpenter, 1978. Spawned a sequel, Halloween 2, in 1981, but I'll get to that at a later time. It's October 13th now. It's Saturday night. Happy October. I told you guys I'd be doing this. I'll be going through all the Halloweens. But I'm glad I got to cover the original here, the 1978 John Carpenter's Halloween. And at the end of the movie, of course, we remember he gets shot 6 times, falls off the balcony. Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis looks over the balcony, and actually, this is my favorite part of the documentary of this movie. He looks at John Carpenter. He's like, I can do this 2 ways. I can do, oh my God, he's gone, because he got up and walked away, or I can give you the look of, I knew this was going to happen. John Carpenter said, do both. So Sir Donald Pleasance did both, and John Carpenter liked the fact that the second one was, I knew this was going to happen, and that's Donald Pleasance, Dr. Sam Loomis, looking over the balcony like this. I knew this was going to happen. The best ending to any horror movie flick in the history of horror movies in the past 160,000 years. So anyways, I'm the Maestro Megatron. Hope you enjoyed this little segment of Halloween and the original 1978 John Carpenter's Halloween, written and directed by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. Tune in next time. I'll be doing Halloween 2. I'll be doing all these Halloween movies throughout the rest of the month of October. Till then, stay scared, guys. This is my favorite time of the year, and your favorite time of the year, too. Happy Halloween.